The Chandler-Gilbert men's basketball team faced Glendale 3 times in the regular season, winning 2 of 3. Now they meet in the season that matters the most. The squads meeting in the Division II Region 1 Finals live from the Coyote Center on the Chandler-Gilbert Sports Network. Good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Pequeno alongside Matt McCurdy. Coach Steve Silsby and the Coyotes, well, they faced all kinds of adversity, tons of injuries, and Matt, through it all, they earned the 2 seed by beating Glendale on home court when it counted 62-51.
Yeah, really an impressive matchup. I mean, this was a game, probably one of their best games this season. They played hard, they hustled hard, and what I love to see was the team just building on the momentum that they've been having and the struggles they've had, but they've built and built and built. Javen with 18 points that game, he was electric. He played great, really commanded the team. And Ollie Hinder with 10 points. Really, they were so in sync. Whether Javen was being the facilitator feeding Ollie or Ollie being the facilitator to Javen down low, it was just perfect. They played well, so we hope to see that again tonight.
Coyotes finished 12-6 for the 2 seed. Glendale, the 3 seed at 10-8. Coach Steve Silsby leaned on a lot of freshmen this year, and the young guns came through.
Yeah, I mean, they really stepped into the plate, and every time we've talked to them, you know, the injuries, the lack of bodies has always been a concern, but they've really taken it as next man up. They have to step up and play big, and they've done that. And in talking to Jaden Price last game, he kind of feels like maybe it was a blessing in disguise that this forcing them to grow up and play hard is really going to be big and monumental here in these late games, and so far it has.
And the Coyotes get a boost as Will Coates, the team's second leading scorer, is back from a lower body injury. He's missed a good portion of the season, got some minutes in their last regular season win, and he'll come off the bench tonight to give Steve Silsby and the Coyotes some hopefully valuable minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough, right? When you have some momentum, they've won the last 4 games with a different lineup that didn't include Will Coates. So you start to question as coach, what's the best lineup? What's the best starting team? I think he's made a great choice in who he selected here tonight. But Will Coates being in the game, he's great on the court. We've seen that all throughout the season, scoring 5 in his first game back after what has been almost a month-and-a-half break. And so who knows where he's at tonight, but we're excited to see him play.
Coyotes riding a 4-game winning streak. Glendale riding a 2-game winning streak. They are coming off a blowout win over Phoenix College, 101-76. Matt, look, this team, when they're on, they're dynamic.
Yeah.
They've got double-digit scores, 5 of them. Jordan Kuak puts up 20, leads the league. Davis Hester, 16. Lamont Johnson with 12. Kenny White with 11. And Chase Peavy with 10. When this team is clicking athletically, they're as good as anyone in this league.
Yeah, they're scary. They're a monster, and we've seen them 3 times this season where they came on the home court first game out, blew us out of the home court, and then obviously the boys have been able to come back and win. But man, when they get hot, especially from the 3-point line, it can be a totally different ball game, and that's what the Coyotes really have to lock down. Don't let Chase Pavey, don't let Davis Hester come out and shoot you out.
Glendale, led by veteran coach Ken Carrillo. When his squad is cooking, they are absolutely excellent. And we're going to take a short timeout for the national anthem. More to come from the Coyote Center. The semifinals between Chandler-Gilbert and Glendale right here on the Chandler-Gilbert Sports Network. And we welcome you back into the Coyote Center. We are just moments away from the tip-off between the 2 seed, Chandler-Gilbert, and the 3 seed, Glendale. And Glendale being introduced. We'll break down their starting lineup. And Matt, so explosive, averaging 82 points, shooting 46%, almost 38% from three, 39 rebounds, 17 assists. Their starting lineup: number 2, Ty Gibbs; number 5, Davis Hester; number 12, Jordan Kuak; number 21, Abdul Saleh; and number 22, Lamont Johnson. Gifted, athletic, they can do it all on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, they're fast-paced. They love to play hard, and we've talked about they're athletes, right? Through and through. They can come out here and dominate a game defensively and offensively. So it really comes down to can the Coyotes block off that outside shot? We've seen people like Chase Pavey, Davis Hester. They can come into the game and really light it up, especially late in the game when it counts so desperately. So they're going to have to be careful of that and really make sure to lock it out.
Coyotes led by head coach Steve Silsby in his 12th year with assistants Zach Harrison, Leon Sutton, and Mike Fowler. Starting lineup for the Coyotes: number 5, Jabin Price; number 12, Lockie McCain; number 21, Cohen Aldridge; number 32, Carter Carab; number 40, Ali Hinder. Coyotes 12-6, 19 and 11 overall. They average 70 points, shoot 35%, 34% from three, 63% from the line with 36 rebounds and 13 assists. And this is a Coyotes team that when they are clicking, they are tough to beat. And Coach Silsby has said tonight for the squad, it's all about the team defending, locking down. He says, we know how good Glendale is. If we're not ready, they'll blow us out of the gym.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be huge, right? The mentality coming in here and playing hard, playing as a team, really playing in sync. And I think we've seen that in the past 4 games that they've played where they've won. And I love the gameplay between Lockie and McCain coming in here, really being a great shooter and a facilitator for the team. Jabin Price has played incredibly consistent. So that's really the golden night. Stay that way, play that way, and they should be able to pull a win.
And one correction, Coyotes field goal percentage on the year, 45%. So here we go. Glendale wins the tip. Ty Gibbs, he is a tremendous facilitator. Great handles, great speed. Coyotes locking up top, trapping underneath. And how about the early takeaway by Carter Carab?
Yeah, we love to see that. I mean, that's what we saw last time we played Glendale. Fast, aggressive, especially defensively from the Coyotes. That's played a big factor in their last matchup just a week or so ago.
Lockie is starting to become Lockie McCain again. He had the early lower body injury.
Yeah.
Really didn't see him until the second half of the year. Had to get his conditioning down, and now he's on point, and he's going to be valuable in this one. Cohen will pull up off the loose ball, and Cohen buries it at the buzzer. Cohen Aldridge, who's just been a different player in the second half of the year.
Absolutely. I mean, he's just blown open certain games. I mean, in that last matchup versus Glendale, 15 points coming off the bench and just played tremendously. Actually, that was Connor Aldridge with 15 points, but Cohen's played consistent as well, just really being the outside player and the outside shooter whenever the team needs him.
Coyotes got the turnover from Lamont Johnson now. Carab turns it over in the lane. Little floater, that won't go. Ollie pulls it down. Hester with the miss. Obviously, the stakes so high. You win, your season continues. You lose, you're going home. And Jabin Price, he's coming out with a purpose. 4-0. Chandler-Gilbert.
And what I love about Jabin's game at this late part of the season is his ability to know when to go in and when to kick it out. It's just been better and better each time he's played, and that right there was a great example of it.
Jordan Kuak, the league's leading scorer, 20 a game with the pull-up. So explosive. Kuak dynamic, putting up 24 and 1, shooting 43%. Jabin will let it fly from 3, and Jabin, nothing but the bottom of the net. A 7-2 Coyotes advantage. And just a tremendous start. Coyotes in the half court really executing well.
I'll tell you, Joe, we don't see that type of shooting as much from Jabin. He's more of a drive-in, kick-it-out type of guy or go to the rim. But once again, way to shoot that.
Jabin with the steal. They work it inside, and Ollie with the finish. Coyotes up and down the floor, racing out to a 9-2 lead. Tremendous defense in the backcourt. And Ali with the exclamation point. And Coach Carrillo's got to burn a timeout. And he talked about his team. And I said to him beforehand, Coach, your team athletically as good as any in the conference. Question is, are they ready to go? And it's like, we have to be.
Yeah.
The focus, determination, it has to be there or we're going to go home. And everyone understands the stakes this time of year. It's playoff basketball. Both these teams, there's no at-large bid for either squad. The winner will move on and take on the winner of course, number one Pima, who's undefeated, and surprising South Mountain, who picked up the last seed. And they are playing tonight as we speak as well. Pima 30-0, ranked number one in the nation. So both teams feeling the desperation as that one is misfired from the outside. And Lockie off the loose ball. McCain up the floor. Carter works it to Javen on top of the key. Kuak comes out. Coach Carrillo going to his bench. Hinder. Cohen lets it fly. That's off the back of the iron. Ripped down. The good pull down by Saleh. Worked in the corner. Elbow jumper. And one. Good touch by Lamont Johnson. And Johnson will have the shot at the three-point play. Lamont Johnson putting up 12. With 6 rebounds per game. A 48% field goal percentage. Shooting 66% from the line. And Lamont knocks that one down. 9-5 early in this one from the Coyote Center. These squads know each other oh so well. They've faced 3 times in the regular season. Coyotes winning 2 of 3. Crab underneath. Carter banks it in. And one. Good body control as Saleh picks up the foul.
And Carter Korab has been one of those players throughout the season. His down-low post game has just gone better and better and better. And really in that game against Glendale, we saw just that. Really taking his time, bodying in, waiting to the last second, and making his shot count, getting the extra point and going to the line.
And Carter connects on the three-point play. The scary thing about this team, the nucleus all coming back next year.
Yeah.
And the Coyotes about to get a healthy dose of inspiration and maybe an offensive surge as Will Coates is going to see some minutes. And how about Ali Hinder laying some lumber down in the blocks and letting Lamont Johnson know that nothing is going to come easy down in the paint.
And Joe, we talked a lot about Ollie Hinder's game and needing to be more aggressive and fill that role of that down-low powerhouse. And I think we've seen that really gradually growing, especially in these last 4 or 5 games where right there, you know, he's really letting his presence be known that he is the top dog in the down low.
Lamont Johnson, a 66% free throw shooter. And Will Coates back in the ball game. So good to see. Will is a leader on this team, well-spoken, loves to play, and has had to go through his own adversity to get to this point. Work down, Connor Aldridge also in the game. Javen, as he is being guarded up top by Kenny White. White, explosive three-point shooter. Grab, picked up by Saleh. Javen, high screen. Left side, fired up. That's off the mark. Will Coates thought he was fouled down in the box. White, picked up by Lockie. Works it out. Chase Peavy dumps it down in the blocks. Double team. Gibbs, right side. 3 balls up, off the mark. Kept alive by Saleh down in the paint. Kenny White now picked up by Carter Crab. Works it back out. Inside. And the good touch inside by Saleh on the great feed from Lamont Johnson. And that was just crisp basketball movement by Glendale.
Yeah.
And the Coyotes did just about everything right on that possession. Just Soleil slipped inside. The big thing is Lockie fires it up, and Lockie from the corner. Lockie McCain, he starts cooking. Things open up for the Coyotes in a big way.
And you got to love when Lockie McCain starts hitting early. I mean, that's just a good sign for the Coyotes in general.
Johnson misses underneath. It's work to Connor. Carter Crab up top. Swings it. Will Coates picked up. Javen, Lockie will fire it again from three, and Lockie back-to-back threes. The wonder from down under, cooking early. Coyotes up 9. Kenny White outside, that's off the mark. Pulled down by Ty Gibbs. Lamont Johnson, strong, man-sized move with a man-sized appetite. And sometimes, you got to have that. Those shots aren't flying. You need that physical presence who's going to say, I've got this, and we'll go strong in the paint.
Absolutely. That is Lamont Johnson down to the very words.
And that's going to be over the backboard. Tons of changes. Mo Awney, Ollie Hinder, and Cohen Aldridge in the ball game. For Glendale, Davis Hester back in, as well as Mike O'Neill, a redshirt sophomore from Skyland Prep, originally from Detroit, Michigan. They work it to Hester. Hester can light it up from three, a 40% free throw, make that a three-point shooter. Kenny White blocked by Hinder. And that's Glendale's ball, but great perimeter defense by Ollie. Kuak will inbound the basketball for Glendale. 13:24 left in the first half. Kenny White up top, guarded by Mo Awney. Mo Awney, and that's going to go the other way. They're going to call the moving screen on Mike O'Neill. Both teams with 2 fouls apiece. 18-11. Chandler-Gilbert on home court, looking for another victory.
Looks like Ollie Hinder getting a little bump to the face mask. So he'll walk it off. It'll be the Coyotes' ball from out of bounds. But
Mark Beasley, the head referee, making that call to stop play. Hinder picked up by Mike O'Neill. Cohen Aldridge. Aldridge in the lane. Inside to Ollie. Ollie up and strong and one. Ollie Hinder on the great feed from Cohen. Freshman to freshman. And the young guns coming up big down low. And Lamont Johnson back in. Mike O'Neill quickly steps out. Ollie at the line. 50% free throw shooter. No question, that has got to be a point of emphasis of things to work on in the offseason. Probably hit the gym, put some more muscle on, and of course his dad, who played professionally in Australia, will battle him down in the post weekly to make sure he's ready for next season. Johnson bumps right into Ollie, tries to work it inside. Will Coates pulls it away. Johnson was trying to work it at Kuak inside, and Will Coates active and ripped it away. So we might not see Will Coates dazzle a box score with points, but his presence on the floor changes the complexity of how Glendale guards his team and provides just an able, great body on the floor. And Will, just like that, dazzles. His presence and inspiration and him knocking down shots, a bonus. Mo Awney on the other end, coming up big. And right now, the Coyotes showing some home toughness with members of the baseball team here.
And what a great effort by Tegan Maloney. I'm seeing the number 11, Kenny White, lost his footing, lost control of the ball, and he was right on that snuck in between there, grabbed the ball, and went up for the foul and got the contact. So just great effort. And once again, you can tell the Coyotes are locked in. They're focused. They're not going to let go of these little opportunities to make extra points count.
It's the funny thing, Matt, in the course of this season, how many times have we seen the Coyotes with this team healthy? Because when Will was healthy, Lockie McCain wasn't healthy.
Right.
And when Lockie started getting his wheels back, Will was out. Now they're both on the floor at the same time, healthy. So this is a team, once again, the injuries, so many, well documented. Parker Larson lost early in the season. Ty Cochran lost before the season with another lower body injury. This team has gone through so much.
Yeah.
Lockie missed most of the season. Will Coates banged up. Numerous injuries.
Yeah.
And here they are through it all. The Coyotes grabbing the 2 seed, showing their toughness and their perseverance, and just an incredible effort by this team as they finished the regular season with a 19-11 record. And just imagine if they didn't have all these injuries. And, of course, every team goes through it. Glendale had their share. And talking to Coach Carrillo, his squad very banged up with injuries to Kenny White early, as well as other members on the team that they had to battle through. And here they are with the 3 seed.
Well, Joe, you make a great point. I mean, they talk about a lot how it's hard enough to play a team 2, 3 times, now 4 times. But really, this is a team that I don't think anyone in the conference has seen the Coyotes be a consistent team as far as players go because of the amount of injuries. But I think it's worked in their favor a little bit as they've, right, the key factor, obviously, winning, playing strong, people stepping up, and they've done just that. And so I think it will play in their favor, especially adding Will Coates where they didn't have him last time.
Maloney nails 2. Kuak will pull up, and Kuak shows his range. Once again, the league's leading scorer at 20 per night. Young man is dazzling with the ball in his hands. Ollie up top, picked up by Johnson. Cohen Aldridge will swing it to Ollie down in the post. Working Lamont Johnson, kick out. Connor outside. Connor too strong, but the Coyotes keep it alive underneath. They'll have 8 seconds on the shot clock. Ollie checks out. Carter checking back in. Maloney will work it and swings it up top. Connor with Lamont Johnson on him. 4 seconds, fired up and off the side of the iron. Ty Gibbs, full speed ahead. That's how he plays. Salee works it to Johnson. Johnson fires it up, and that is not Lamont Johnson's game. And the Coyotes will take that every single time. Lamont Johnson is a tough physical force.
Yep.
His game is going toward the basket, and if he wants to launch moonbeams from the three-point line, the Coyotes will give him that all day.
Yeah, we see moments like this with Glendale where they seem like they get a good few possessions, but then something goes out of sync. They don't get it set up in the order they would like, and they force a shot just like that.
Kuak, they dump it down to Johnson in the post, showing that muscle. And that time, good defense by Connor on the front. Javen Price, right side. Ty Gibbs in his back pocket. Work to Carter, and Carter will get called for the over the top. 10:57 left. Coyotes up 25-13. The winner moves on to Friday's finals. And they'll take on the winner of number 1 Pima, number 4 South Mountain, as Kuak dazzles from long range. He's got 7. The lead is 9. Lockie swings it over to Connor. Kuak out on the perimeter. Lockie picked up by Kuak, who's everywhere. 9 in the shot clock. Javen will stop, pop, and connect. Javen Price and 1. And the Coyotes coming up big as the shot clock winding down.
And talk about making it work when the last second counts. I mean, he just saw the time running out, saw that his team wasn't quite running the play as it should, took command and made it happen. And that's what you need in a strong leader. And that's something Javen Price has been working on game after game.
And I got to tell you, Matt, we're seeing the Coyotes have very effective possessions.
Yes.
They are really excelling in the half court.
Absolutely.
And they are locking down Glendale, keeping Glendale under control. And Kuak, once again, just manning up and taking a piece right there. And Jordan Kuak is just an impressive offensive basketball player, no question. He's got next level skill. He'll be inked to play somewhere, and rightfully so. He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
He's that kind of stand-up shooter who doesn't matter the angle. As long as he's squared up and facing it, he can lock it down.
Absolutely.
And Kuak connects on the three-point play. He's got 10 points in the first 10 minutes. And it might take a Herculean effort by Kuak. Cohen, Carter, and Carter misses on the alley. Going back the other way, Ty Gibbs. Gibbs swings it over to Kuak. Kuak, quick electric first move, misses off the glass. Salee pulls it down, and they're going to call the foul on Javen Price. And now you kind of see what Glendale can do. Kuak with that quick step, Salee, tough physical underneath, and that is the kind of effort Glendale is going to need to try to claw back from this 9-point deficit.
Absolutely.
They've got their shooter from long range, Chase Peavy, in the game, number 4. Peavy will swing it back out. Davis Hester, 6 on the shot clock. Loose ball, and that's going to be a tie-up situation. And that's going to be in favor of the Coyotes, and that's such a bad possession for Glendale as Peavy got locked up, Hester, and then all of a sudden Hester just lost track of the clock a little bit and then lost the ball.
And the Coyotes have done such a good job, other than Jordan Kuak, who really can shoot from anywhere. The Coyotes have done such a good job pushing Glendale to the outside to have to force that shot, or actually go in the inside, not letting them shoot the outside shot. And I think that's played to their advantage really well.
Javen Price blows by Gibbs.
Wow.
And one. Tremendous move by Javen Price. Attacking and going strong, but the question is, was the foul during the shot or before?
No foul. No. It's not foul, not a foul.
So they're calling it a flop against Ty Gibbs.
So the original play is not a foul.
Right, it's a flop warning.
It's just the last beat, right?
Back it, yeah.
Okay,
So
just
bucket
wanted-
make, last beat, flop warning,
Exactly.
shooting one.
Yes, we're good.
So no basket. They call a violation on the flop. Lockie will take the violation shot. And McCain, of course, doing what he does. Stroking threes, no problem. Hitting a free throw. It's like drinking a glass of milk for him. So easy. 31-19, Coyotes really off to a really good start. And I got to tell you, Matt, you and I have come here so many times in the course of the season seeing a team just, limited because of bodies. They've got bodies tonight, and we're seeing the full effect of what this team can do. And Kuak is just nuclear right now.
Man.
He's got 13. Young man who puts up 20 a game. And Lamont Johnson about to check back in.
And Joe, what's been nice as well is Will feels like he's fitting right back in. Doesn't feel like he's out of sync. Feels like he's adding to the team. And sometimes when we come off an injury, that's not always the case.
Will the other way. And that's going to trickle out of bounds off Lockie. Mark Beasley, the head officiating The head of officiating in this one says it's going the other way. 31-22, 8:26 left. The winner moves on. The other season is done. Both these teams, very talented. They've faced their share of adversity throughout the year. Kuak once again off balance, and Jordan Kuak right now is nuclear. He's got 15.
And Joe, Jordan Kuak's really the only person keeping Glendale in this game. Taking it himself almost one-on-one and going to the rim, and he's hitting it tonight.
The dump down low, and they're going to call the foul as Jabin Price was cutting to the basket. And that's going to be on Lamont Johnson. Jabin Price at the line. Does not connect on the one-on-one. Ty Gibbs, quiet. He can break ankles, and we saw it right there. Lamont Johnson works it back out to Davis Hester. 15 on the shot clock. Johnson with the high screen. Hester will stop and pull. That's off the mark as Javen rips it down. Javen transition. Will Coates to his right. Javen in the lane. High arcing off the rim, won't go. And they're going to call the foul on Will Coates. That's Will's first. So both fouls. Both teams are just piling up the fouls. Ty Gibbs outside, and that is stroked by Chase Beebe. Chase Beebe makes it a 4-point game. Beebe shoots 41% from three, averages 10 a game.
And those were those outside shots from Glendale's outside shooters that the Coyotes just don't want to have happen. And that was a wide open shot for Chase Pavey. They can't afford to let those stack up.
Javen gives it up and will pull up, and that's off the mark. Nolan Christensen. Nolan can't get it to go. Ty Gibbs exploding. Works it to Johnson. Johnson. And that's blocked by Nolan Christensen. Great defense by Nolan. Going back the other way and providing a spark defensively. Will Coates works it to Javen. Johnson comes out defensively. Javen swings it down low and overshoots Nolan. And right now, both teams offensively being tested. And a good timeout on the floor for Chandler-Gilbert. So we've seen Glendale starting to make a push, and it all starts with a two-man show in Jordan Kuak and Lamont Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, the Coyotes obviously getting a little out of sync there. I think that time was much needed, locking back in. But Jordan Kuak really coming out strong, landing some shots. That wide open three for Chase Pavey. I think Glendale just started feeling like they were getting a hot streak. They obviously lost their possession at that last play, but the Coyotes losing a little steam. I think this timeout is much needed. Got to lock them back in and play the way they need to play.
The big thing for Glendale, now that you see their two forwards and Lamont Johnson and Abdul Salih, good rebounders. Johnson can attack. Kuak is just deadly anywhere.
Yeah.
So far, they haven't gotten much from Davis Hester. He has not filled the box score yet, but you got to figure with the amount of inside presence and Kuak who can create that Coach Carrillo could be dialing up Kenny White and Chase Peavy a little bit more. So while everyone's focus, whether it be on Lamont Johnson down in the post or trying to defend Kuak, which at this point it's highly unlikely, they have that option with either White or Peavy to stroke a three.
Absolutely. The real question, too, Joe, is will Kuak pass that ball out? You know he likes to score. You know he knows he's an effective scorer. And usually when you got someone who can do that, he's going to take it all the way.
31-27. Glendale is work their way back into this one. After being down by 9. And that time, that was just a miscommunication. Kenny White looking for Saleh, and Saleh had no clue the ball was coming his way. And in a game like this, those kind of turnovers, costly. Every possession has to be valued. And Nolan Christensen will get called for the offensive foul. And they're going to say the referee's point of view is that Nolan Christensen possession with the basketball might have hit Lamont Johnson in the face. That's what it looked like from here. Now Coach Silsby is arguing otherwise, that there was no contact and what he did was legal. So it all depends on the vantage point. And Kenny White, once again, he can stroke it from 3. Lamont Johnson wanting the basketball down low. And that's a good foul the other way. Nolan Christensen battling Lamont Johnson. Lamont Johnson hooked his neck and trying to get position. And now we get some fans getting testy. Of course, Glendale bringing their fan base from the Glendale area. Coach Ernie Shands of the women's team is here for Glendale. Of course, my heart hurts for Ernie Shands. His team lost the regular season finale against Phoenix that put Phoenix College into the 4th seed on the women's side. But Coach Shands is doing a great job with that women's program over there. Carter Crab, Saleh, good battle there. 2 players that loved the physicality. Connor Aldrich, Kuak up top. Cohen swings it back to Connor. 7 on the shot clock. Carter, man-sized move, and Connor will fire it up off the mark. Saleh will pull it down, and it's going to be the foul going the other way. And they're going to call the foul on Carter Karab. So both teams one-on-one situation at the line for Saleh. Not even close. And that is one of those really bad misses. Javen, Coyotes have been stuck on 31 for a little bit, allowing Glendale to kind of work their way in. Kicked in the corner, Cohen puts it on the floor. And they're going to call a foul on Kenny White. Maybe a little bit of a tug on that jersey. Tegan Maloney checking in. Javen off to a good start. Javen already 10 points in this one.
And Joe, this is where both these teams are going to have to be careful on the fouls. This is a semifinal match. You know the refs are going to call it tight. Glendale, an aggressive team. You can see them geeing up on the couch, putting their arms in, trying to get snags and steals. And you're going to get called, especially as the game goes on. They see a little aggression come out like we saw between Lamont Johnson and Nolan Christensen. They're going to call it even tighter. So that's going to be an aspect, especially as we get into the second half, on how tight the refs call the game.
Cohen connects on both. Can't stress how big free throw shooting is this time of year. Coyotes up 6. Ty Gibbs. Hester works it back to Gibbs. Gibbs not known for taking that 3-point shot. Peavy, little scoop, and Peavy showing his ability to put it on the floor. 4-point game, 33-29. Winding down to 4 minutes left in this first half. D2 Region 1 semifinals as Carter cutting and delivering. Carter Karab. Lead is back to 6, 35-29. Good execution in the half court by both teams in their possessions. Kuak. And Kuak gets fouled by Cohen Aldrich. Still a 1-1 situation. Both teams, 9 team fouls each. Yes, highly physical. And the way Jordan Kuak has shot the basketball, free throws, essentially been easy. He's got 16. And you name the angle, he's delivered. He has really kept Glendale in the game. On the other side, the Coyotes with 10 points from Javen Price, Lockie McCain, a couple big threes. He's got 7. Ollie Hinder, he's got 5. Carter Carab's got 5. A collective effort. Will Coates coming back from the injury. He stroked a 3 in this one. So 4 minutes left, as we expected, a tied contest. First 3 times, Coyotes nursing all kinds of injuries. Glendale came in here and just trucked them.
Yeah.
In a big way. And it was very rare we've ever seen. Matter of fact, it's the only time we've seen the Coyotes blown out at home. Then the Coyotes responded with a tough road win at Glendale. And then when the season mattered and they had to have a win as both teams were battling for that 2 seed, Coyotes came up with a victory here and finished the season with 4 straight wins, and here they are, earning that home court advantage. And of course, for Coach Silsby, the Coyotes could get to the region finals. Well, it's 3 years in a row. Pima last year right here, and then the year before they were at Scottsdale. So a tremendous effort by Coach Silsby, and maybe his greatest coaching year here on campus with all the injuries he suffered through.
No doubt.
Kuak has made 1 of 2. 16, make that 17 and counting. And Jordan Kuak, the way he's shooting the ball, he might put up 30 easily in this one. And a timeout on the floor. 35-31 now. Both coaches playing a little bit of chess, making moves to make sure that their teams on the out of bounds are in position to work the ball effectively up the court. Why? Because now for Coach Carrillo and for Coach Silsby, they're valuing each possession. So valuable. We saw last year in the region finals how Pima just a little bit more cleaner than Chandler-Gilbert was in that final 2 minutes. And taking care of the basketball, paramount in this one. Thomas now in for Chandler-Gilbert. Under 4 minutes left. Thomas, as Glendale tries to and Mark Beasley going over to the official and letting her know that 10 seconds didn't wind off that easily. Okay, so Mark Beasley takes care of everything, gets everything in order. And you know what? Refs are human as long as they collectively come together and make amends and correct mistakes.
Absolutely.
Ball is lost. Gibbs will scoop it up. Works it to Salee. Gibbs, so fast. He can break some ankles as Lockie and Will Coates about to check back in. Kuak, that time off the iron. But another strong look.
It might be one of the first and few shots he's missed tonight.
Mullowney in a battle against Gibbs. Coming on that left side of the perimeter is Thomas. Works it to Connor. Kuak. Carter down low. This time, Carter with the finish on the good feed. 37-31. Salee. Davis Hester has been quiet in this one. Little elbow, and Davis Hester remains empty in the box score. Connor with the rip. Mullowney brings it up the floor. Tegan's parents always so polite and have nothing but nice things to say about the broadcast all the time. And they're going to call the foul on Davis Hester. That's his first. Coyotes about to make a slew of changes. McCain, Coates, Jamin Price about to check in.
And Glendale in these last few minutes really doing a good job reading the offense of the Coyotes. And you've seen a few times them closing down, trapping on that screen handoff that the Coyotes love to do. And it's played out effectively. They've managed to gain a few steals, run back down the court, score for their team. And that might be the first time in the last couple times we've seen them play that they've really executed on locking out that Coyote offense.
So now, right now, you're seeing Coach Carrillo going to a more guard-heavy lineup and a one physical specimen that can rebound, and that's Saleh. And Will Coates providing that muscle underneath with that key rebound to extend the possession off Thomas missing both free throws. 6 on the shot clock. Javen in the lane, working strong. Javen up and in. Javen Price, electric move. He's got 12, and the lead is 39-31. Kenny White thought about it. Peavy pulls it back out. Kuak. He gets locked up. Gibbs will reset with 10 on the shot clock. He's got a lot of space. Gibbs will launch it, and that is off the back of the iron. Thomas, good positioning on Kuak as Lockie pulls it down. Good defensive series for the Coyotes. Christensen picked up by Saleh. Works it to Lockie, top of the key. Lockie nails Rocky McCain, his third three of the half. He's got 10, and the lead is up to 11. Coyotes ending this first half with authority, and Javen Price with the steal. Javen throws it down fierce, and Coach Carrillo's got to call a timeout, and the Coyotes on a 7-0 run.
And I'll tell you, Joe, that was exactly what the Coyotes needed to start closing out this first half. I mean, so explosive. They felt a little dry spell there, felt like it was falling apart. They've blown it wide open in these last minute or so.
Javen Price having a great game in this one. 14 points, and one of the things we won't see in the box score was that hustle by Will Coates underneath to keep that possession alive, and the Coyotes scoring on that sequence.
Absolutely, and just let's talk briefly about Will Coates' length that he's adding to the game. This is a team, Glendale, that likes to shoot from the outside. And you saw there, ball got past Chase Pavey. Will Coates has that extra long length that blocked him off, made it hard for him to take the shot, and then he forced the pass, which led to the steal.
44-31. Winding down to 1 minute left. Gibbs has been locked up by Price. Chase Peavy, he's not afraid. Will Coates on him. And they're going to call a foul down in the post. And that's going to be against Will Coates. That's his second. Both teams, this will be a two-shot opportunity for Saleh, who missed his first attempt. And this time he gets the roll. Connor Aldridge checking in. Will still working on getting that conditioning up to par. Coach has told me he's got some practices in. Scored 5 points in their last game. Saleh cans both. The lead is 11. Price, high screen. Works it to Lockie, who fires it up again. Lockie, a little too strong. Kenny White, transition. Kenny White has it taken away. Ball on the court, and they tie it up. It's going to be Gauchos basketball. 40.2 seconds left with 24 seconds on the shot clock.
And Javen's just playing at another speed level. You can see Kenny White hustling as fast as he can, but Javen's got that extra tick.
Davis Hester, a quiet first half. He misses the runner. And the Coyotes will slow it down, and rightfully so. And right now, at the half, it's Pima. In a tight one against South Mountain. 36-28, and playoff basketball is a whole different animal.
Yeah,
South Mountain, you can't take anyone for granted.
absolutely.
Javen, 5 on the shot clock. And Javen lost the handle, will get called for the travel. So Glendale will have 6.1 seconds left to get a shot off. And Jordan Kuak is not on the floor. Gibbs, off balance shot, and that won't go. And the Coyotes will go into the half with a 44-33 advantage. And it's been a complete team effort offensively for the team. And it starts with Javen Price with 14 points.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been absolutely excellent on the court. Playing well, reading the lines, reading the lanes, and taking advantage of it when it counts. And that's what you need in a good point guard who's going to command the floor. Going in, taking the drives when he can use that speed to his advantage, but also knowing how to work his team in. He's just gone better and better and better every game. But then the extra effort here in the last half, using that, or the last few minutes, using his speed and his quickness to make steals, work it down the court. Then obviously that great dunk from him. I know he's thrilled about that. It's always great when you get an open lane and can dunk it.
And of course, we're now seeing the real Lockie McCain.
Oh yeah.
Lockie, 3 first half threes, 10 points. And this is a player that when he gets cooking, he's so deadly from the outside. And the Coyotes missed that for a majority of the first half of the year.
Yeah. No, having Lockie McCain back is a secret weapon that I think we almost forgot we had because he had been gone for so long. And now having him back, you know when he turns quick, goes up for the shot, you can tell when it's going to be a make versus a miss because he is so crisp, so fast, and it's really a no hesitation three-point shot, and those are the ones he makes. And so he's really been shooting like that for the past 4 games in a row, and if he keeps it up, he's going to make his impact known tonight.
Karab with 7 points as we look at the halftime numbers for the Coyotes, and as we dial it in collectively, 57% from the floor,
Wow.
38% from 3. Just a tremendous effort on the rebounding side. 12 rebounds to Glendale's. A total of 14. So Glendale with the slight rebounding edge. And of course, we talk about Kuak. And Matt, I got to tell you, in that last possession, your best offensive player, you got 6 seconds on the clock. With all great respect for Coach Carrillo, Jordan Kuak's on the floor.
Yeah.
You got 6 seconds. There's probably 3 players in that course of that shot. I want Kenny White, Chase Peavy, or Kuak. Why? You got 6 seconds. 3 to work the ball up, 1 to find a shooter, and then it's going to be pretty much maybe 1 step and shoot it.
Yeah.
So I'm really surprised that Jordan Kuak wasn't on the floor. But needless to say, that is something for Glendale to figure out, and something that Chandler-Gilbert squad is happy he wasn't on the floor. 44-33 as we kind of peruse the box score of this one. Points, and all starts with Javen Price with 14. Lockie, as we mentioned, with 10. Carter Karab with 7. Cohen Aldridge with 4. Ollie Hinder with 4. And as we look at Glendale and Kuak, 17 points.
Wow.
Lamont Johnson with 7. Chase Peavy with 5. And Abdul Saleh with 4. And Glendale collectively only shooting 41%. From 3, they're shooting 50%. So as we kind of talked about, they've got shooters. I don't think they've utilized them enough. They don't spread the floor out enough. And getting Kenny White and Chase Peavy involved, those guys can launch it. Like we've seen the Coyotes on the flip side get Lockie open, and what's going to happen? Lockie's going to knock him down.
Yeah.
So a lot to take in. And on the other game, we saw Pima undefeated, but they're being pushed at home right now
Yeah.
by South Mountain, 36-28. South Mountain made a late surge to make the postseason, get that 4th spot over Scottsdale. So by chance, if South Mountain should pull off the stunner and the Coyotes hold on here, the Coyotes would host the region finals Friday right here at the Coyote Center. Of course, a lot has to go right. All we can do is cross our fingers and pray to the basketball gods as South Mountain pulls off the most incredible upset on the junior college circuit this season.
Yeah.
But it is March, and in March, it's all about magic, madness, and mayhem, and anything
Absolutely.
can happen.
Yeah.
We're going to take a short time out from the Coyote Center. Coyotes halfway home to making it to the region finals, leading Glendale 44-33 at the half. More to come from the Coyote Center. And we welcome you back to the Coyotes Center. Coyotes with a 44-33 lead over Glendale. Javen Price pacing the Coyotes with 14, but collectively it's been a great effort by Chandler-Gilbert. And if it wasn't for Jordan Kuak and his 17 points, this game would be even more lopsided. As we look at the regular season standings, how it all paired out, Pima. As we talked about, Matt, 30-0 unstoppable, 18-0 in league. Chandler-Gilbert, second, 12-6, 19-11 overall. You got to wonder if the Coyotes didn't suffer all those injuries, if they already have 20 wins and would be ranked in the top 20 and maybe have a shot at an at-large berth. Glendale, 10-8, 18-10, South Mountain. Credit to those kids. Battled their way in, took them to the very end of the season, but they found a way. 7-11, 12-18 overall. Scottsdale got to be kicking themselves. They were locked in that fourth seed. And one time, it looked like when they came here just a couple weeks ago, they were in position maybe to work their way up to maybe 3 or even 2, and instead they struggled down the stretch. Mesa 6-12, 9-19. Phoenix College 3-15, 11-19 overall. So on the women's side, Mesa is the number 1 seed with Coach Corey Stevenson. They will open up against Phoenix College. Your 2 and 3 seeds are Pima and Scottsdale. And that's going to be an intriguing matchup. Scottsdale's got a lot of quickness and speed, and if they can really handle Kylie Sowers-Miller, who is such a force down in the box, they're going to have a chance in this one. And, of course, Pima's ranked number 8. Mesa is number 5 in the regular season. Pima beat Mesa in one matchup, and Mesa knocked off Phoenix College in all 3. And Scottsdale held their own against Pima, winning a matchup in the regular season. So intriguing on the women's side, but Matt, I've seen a lot of women's basketball in the course of this season. I've seen Lakeland College. I've seen Palm Beach State. I've seen Pima and Mesa, of course. North Central Missouri State also ranked in the top 20. Mesa's the best team I've seen, and it's going to take a lot for Corey Stevenson and the Thunderbirds not to move on to the national tournament.
No doubt.
But right now, it's all about the men. Coyotes with an 11-point lead going into the second frame. Hinder, Cohen Aldridge, Lockheed, Javen, Carter Crab back on the floor. Ali misses, and Kuak with the swat on the good defense by Lamont Johnson down in the post. Kuak, Gibbs, Johnson, Hester, and Saleh on the floor. Gibbs works it up top to Lamont Johnson. Johnson just works. High arcing shot. And they're going to call the foul against Javen Price. And Lamont Johnson will go to the line. Lamont, a good first half with 7 points. And no question that Glendale's going to need another score or 2 to step up to give Kuak a little help. Coyotes will take the miss as Javen directs traffic with Cohen. And Cohen, 4 points in that first half. And they're going to call the foul on Lamont Johnson, and Coach Carrillo and his staff are like, are you kidding me? And look, that right there, that's just probably as weak of a foul as you can call. Look, this is playoff basketball, and Lamont Johnson really didn't do much. He was just kind of face guarding Ali Hinder. So I know the refs want to keep it tight, but that was, that was as tight as it gets. Lockheed thought about it. That's knocked away. Coyotes will have 5 on the shot clock. Also in the game for Glendale is Johnson now has 3 fouls.
Your wait time! Your wait time!
Mike O'Neill in as Lockie with the elbow. Loose ball. Kuak comes up with it. Swung down to Hester. He's been quiet in this one. Hester. Go inside. And they're going to call the foul before the shot on Javen. Good move by Mike O'Neill underneath. Oh, they're going to call the foul on Ollie Hinder. So that's actually big as Kuak fires that off. That's too strong off the glass. Javen back the other way.
And Joe, now these two teams are in similar situations. Ollie Hinder, 3 fouls. Lamont Johnson, 3 fouls. They're big powerhouses down low, getting themselves into a bit of foul trouble. They're going to have to be careful on that.
Cohen can't connect off the glass. Kuak misses the other way. And that's going to be off Mike O'Neill. Chase Peavy checks back in. Peavy in that first half with 5 points, knocking down a 3.
And Joe, already you can tell Glendale trying to play a little more disciplined in the second half. Now we got to see, will that stay together as they move forward in the half? But I think Coach Grillo really focusing on that with his defense and offense.
Ty Gibbs, Kuak. Kuak might have gotten away with a little Euro step travel, but puts it in. And that's going to be a foul on Kuak. And right now, Javen has a little bit look of frustration, like, come on, guys, let's get the ball going.
Yeah.
Let's be crisp. Let's handle it well. Let's get into our offense. Will Coates back in the game. Javen as they bring 2 bodies on top of him. Javen works out of it. Will pull up. Oh, Javen brings down Rain in a tremendous shot by Javen Price. The lead is 10. Gibbs works in the corner. Davis Hester will work it to Kuak, guarded by Cohen. Gets the screen. Carter fights off of it. Chase Peavy down in the block. Salih. And Salih misses underneath on a bunny. And they're going to call a flop on Javen Price. So now we've seen flops on both sides.
And Joe, we talked about this where the refs are calling the game tight. And that's just a part of the game, knowing when a ref is going to call a game tight or when they're going to be a little more loose and let the game play out. And tonight they're going to call it strict. They're going to call the flops. They're going to call the slaps on the arms, the steals. And the players got to take that into account when they play and make that part of it because it's going to play a huge factor as they head to the free throw line late in the game.
Hester inks his way into the box score. Mark Beasley gives the explanation. And now Coach Carrillo and Coach Silsby are looking at each other about the flop calls in this one. Chase Peavy will catch and shoot, 1 step in and releases. Javen the other way.
And
works up the high screen.
And I'm loving Will Coates' height advantage on Chase Peavy, really locking him out from his shot.
Will Coates coming up big. Rebound and putback. Once again, having Will's size and grit. Kuak underneath. And they're going to call the offensive on Kuak.
And that one, Jordan definitely put his elbow up, got a little hook on Cohen Aldridge, but once again, it's just a tight called game. They're calling everything.
48-37. Grab up top, guarded by Hester. Swings it to Javen. Works off, couple dribbles. Coates inside to Carter, and Carter's slicing in. Carter. He's got 9 points. Chase Peavy Coyotes doing a good job defending the three. Kuak. And they're going to call the foul on Cohen. That's his second. 50-37. Meanwhile, Pima leading South Mountain 59-44 in the second half. Pull up by Hester, and that time gets it to go. His first bucket of the game. Hester averages 16. They would love to get him cooking. Coyotes beat the backcourt trap. Worked in the corner. Will all day. Will. In and out. Gibbs flying up that right side. Chase Peavy. Good defense by the Coyotes. Peavy thought about it, and then Hester lets it launch. And Javen flying up the floor.
And this right here, Joe, these last couple of possessions, this is where we talked about Glendale slipping out of their offensive rhythm and just kind of putting whatever works up on the table. And that was a good show right there. Didn't really have a great shot, just threw it up there, hope for the best.
Javen underneath. Good balance, and he'll shoot a pair as Peavy picks up the foul. The big thing with Glendale is that Saleh has got to be that guy who's crashing the glass.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Because they have pretty much a jump shooting team on the lineup around Saleh, and he has got to make it a point to be that enforcer on the glass. And if he's not doing that, then basically it's Glendale just turning into the Phoenix Suns and just launching shots all over there from the perimeter. And if you've got no post game, if you've got no presence down in the paint, you're not going to win a lot of basketball games. Jamin connects on 1 of 2. His big night continues. That's launched from long range. Javen, another rip. Javen Price, from where he started the season to where he is now, the poise, night and day.
Yeah, huge difference.
We can say that about Cohen, Connor. Cohen launches it for 3. Cohen Aldridge. He's got 7 points with his mom and dad in the stands watching. His dad decked out in the orange shirt. Can't miss him. Kenny White, electric move. Nice move, and the left hand gets it up. Lockie McCain. Chase Peavy close quick. Ollie down the blocks against Saleh. Ollie, floater, won't go, but Lockie's there, and Lockie will pull it out. How about the hustle from the muscle down under? Will Coates works it to Ollie. Mismatch. Back out to Will, and Will off the iron. And Coach Silsby wanted Ollie to take it up against Chase Peavy, and he had the advantage. Kicked out. Kenny White, 3-ball. That's off the mark. And the Coyotes will methodically work it up, take their time. They're up 13. Possession, scoreboard, lead, all in their favor.
And Joe, I know this isn't really Glendale's style, but if I'm them, I'd slow it down. They're running the ball way down the court, trying to throw it up, get whatever comes, and then they're running a press, which the Coyotes are breaking almost every time. I'd slow it down, run an offense.
Kenny White driving with a purpose, and that fires up his team. And that is what Glendale needs. They need someone with some emotion out there and some fight in their heart, and Kenny White is providing it. Sports is all about emotion and energy, and
absolutely
his outbursts might be lead his team. And he connects on the three-point play. Now with 5 points on the third. Coyotes trying to beat the press. Mullowney. And that is blocked by the Gauchos. Victor Wanjali. Good move. Kick out. Connor in the corner. Connor off the side of the iron. Pulled down by Kuak. Gibbs Middle of the floor. Gibbs works it to Johnson. Johnson will pull up. Off the mark. Mullowney. Cohen from three. No good as Kuak upstairs. Gibbs up and down pace in the last 4 possessions, and now Gibbs will pull it out. Thomas in the game for Chandler-Gilbert. Shot won't go. And Coach Silsby is going to call a timeout. Almost pleaded with Teagan to call a timeout. So an up and down pace in those the last minute or so, and Coach Silsby, I think, had to regroup his team a little bit to get things back in a good working order. Members of the baseball team on hand. They've had a good couple days, winning a road matchup at Mesa and coming back. Winning actually the road matchup today and winning the home matchup yesterday. And Jimmy Turk and his team with a good day of baseball, knocking off Mesa in back-to-back days as they walk out of the gym. They are playing well. They are a sound, fundamental team. They run the bases well, and they're playing good defense. And right now, Pima has just opened things up, leading 72-48. So if things stick, and with Brian Peabody and his team, they most likely will, they will go to 31-0 on the year, and they will host the Region 1 D2 Finals on Friday at 7 p.m. And the winner of this game will have to go to Pima and try to pull off the unthinkable. South Mountain gave them a run. They were only down by 8.5, but Pima has so many weapons, such a deep bench, and it's just a matter of a couple possessions, and you don't play them right, and all of a sudden they go on a 10-0 run. Mullowney and the Coyotes coming off the timeout. Ollie up top. Picked up by Wanjoey. Mullowney swings it to Connor. Cohen, good quick move. That's off the back of the iron. Gibbs racing. Works it inside on the great feed, and the block by Connor as Lamont Johnson was trying to go in for 2. Great defense by Connor Aldridge, who hasn't connected offensively too well in this game, but makes a great hustle play defensively, and that is what team basketball and March Madness is all about. Everyone picking their spots to come up big for their team. Connor off the glass, and it rolls in.
Wow.
Connor doing it on both ends. His first bucket of the game. A big defensive stop and effective on the other end. And Kuak will go to the line, going strong. So it's Kuak at the line. $19 points. Will Coates coming back in. Carter Crabb coming back in. Jamin Price. Big difference now for the Coyotes. They got some bodies they can rotate in.
Yeah. Really a rarity this season. They have not had that luxury primarily all season long.
Late December, early January, most of the season. You're so on point with that, Matt. They haven't had the bodies to effectively work with. Very short bench. Will works it to Connor. Coyotes will control it as Lockie McCain will get ready to check in. Thomas guarded by Gibbs. Crab up top. Johnson in his face. Couple dribbles. Now it's Thomas. Swings it to Will Coates. 9 on the shot clock. Connor on the wing. Swings it to Thomas. Thomas will have to fire it up, and Thomas off the mark. And a bad possession by the Coyotes as Lockie checks in. And Thomas will check out. 10:44 left in this second half. Winner will move on to face Pima, the #1 team in the country. on its way to now becoming 31-0. Gibbs kept in check offensively. Kuak, little head fake and step back, and Kuak with the roll. 23 and counting for Jordan Kuak. And the lead is 8.
You can tell Jordan Kuak just dreams about those shots all the time, just working on his game. I mean, there was zero hesitation when he took that.
Jordan Kuak is a shooter,
Yeah.
and his game can translate for someone, and that shot is short. Now the Gauchos making a push. Chase Peavy picked up immediately. Gibbs with Lockie working through a screen. Salih to Kuak, who will fire up from 3, and that's too strong, and Will pulls it down. Will's presence huge in this one. Glass, hustle, energy, everything. Grab with Lamont Johnson up top. Lamont Johnson with 3 fouls in this one. Connor in the lane. Connor, little fadeaway, rolls around. Jabin, and Jabin will draw the foul against Lamont Johnson, and that's Johnson's 4th.
You know, Joe,
And they'll actually call the foul on Saleh, but it looked like it was on Johnson, who was right on Jabin's face.
No, definitely. I was about to say that was a risky play for Johnson with 3 fouls already. Felt like he kind of jumped in the mix. Luckily, in his favor, he didn't get the call, but he's too good of a player for them, for Glendale in the post. Too key of a player to be getting called out early for foul trouble. And look, that happened in the last time they played here on the home court. Lamont Johnson actually, I think he checked out of the game early because of foul trouble, so that was a critical piece as well.
Jabin now with 18. Lead is 9. Lamont Johnson loses the handle. Kept alive. And we call the foul. Looks like that's Ali Hinder will pick up that foul as Will Coates tries to talk to the head ref. And it is against Ali Hinder. That's Ollie's 4th. He'll play on. Gibbs playing the role of facilitator, mostly in this one. He's underneath, works it to Johnson. Johnson, aggressive move. Karab has it taken away by Saleh. Saleh just put a man-sized move, and Johnson, who has not been able to hit anything from the outside.
No.
His game has been all inside the paint. And the Coyotes will let him take the outside shot every time. Ali with Salih right in his face. Lockie as Peavy comes out. Jabin, 12 on the shot clock. Lockie works it to Will. Lockie in the corner, fires it up. That's long. Gibbs the other way. Gibbs swings it out. Kuak from 3. Off the mark, ripped down by Jabin, who's on his way to a double-digit rebounding night. Coyotes collectively have rebounded the ball well in this one. Crab up top. Swings it to Will with Peavy on him. Crab down low, inside, Allerhindi. Hinder puts it in.
Play.
Coach Carrillo and the Gauchos wanted the travel on Carter, but Ollie underneath puts it in, and the lead is 11 with 7:49 left. So the Coyotes have taken some punches from Glendale in the second half, but just when the Gauchos get close, the Coyotes flex and extend the lead, and it's back to double digits, up by 11.
Yeah, I mean, that was just great execution there. And I think that's really a lot of times what it comes down to. The Coyotes, sometimes the Gauchos getting a little bit of a lead or starting to make some progress, but the Coyotes are so consistent, and they can really run that offense. I just love that execution there. Jabin taking the time, calling it out, and then them executing, leading Ollie for the wide open.
7:49 left. Gauchos down 11. Their best player with 23 and Jordan Kuak, the league's leading scorer, 29. Chase Peavy working up top. Coyotes doing a great job guarding the 3. Peavy, little leaner, banks it in, and we'll have a shot at the 3-point play. And Chase Peavy has really shown his ability to put it on the deck and work his way, and crafty move right there.
Final.
And we have a final. Pima has defeated South Mountain in the Region 1 Division II semifinals 80-55. So no question, Brian Peabody at the half, his team only leading by 8, had some words of wisdom for his team, and they just opened it up in the second half and blew it open. So, as expected, Pima does what they do
Right.
on that side of the bracket.
Yep.
Crab inside, and Will Coates fouled by Davis Hester. And Hester was like holding on to Will for dear life, trying to slow him down. Non-shooting. Javen works up to Lockie, who's there. Coates back to Lockie. Gibbs doing a tremendous job keeping Lockie in his vantage point. Carter down low. Carter, strong move, and one. And Chase Peavy looking at Mark Beasley like, are you kidding me? Carter Carab, man-sized move. He's got 11 with a shot at the 3-point play. And what I love right there, Matt, is the Coyotes' ability to realize that the 3-point play is being taken away by Glendale. And they see the mismatch down the post. They feed Carter. Carter, the aggressive, strong move, and puts it in.
Yeah, no, there's such great ball movement, but also reading of the court tonight. And that's been it's one of the highlights of the Coyotes as they progress this season, is just getting smarter and smarter on how they play.
Oh, Peavy left open, and that's could have been a recipe for disaster on the 3-point opportunity. Coyotes survive that 3-point attempt as we wind down to under 7 minutes left. 61-51, Chandler-Gilbert, a team that has gone through so much, so many injuries. Losing Ty Cochran before the season, losing Parker Larson early in the season. And again, Carter Carab stepping up big down in the paint. Another shot at a 3-point play. He's got 13 and counting. Back-to-back possessions, and Carter's like, just give me the ball and let me do my thing.
And Joe, out of the whole season, Carter Koreb and Javen Price, their touch around the rim has just improved tremendously. Carter being more physical, finding the open lane, but then taking his time and being smart about what he throws up. And then Javen, his touch of the rim has just gone better each time we've seen him play.
Kenny White off the mark. And the Coyotes will take their time. Javen Price. Carter Carab. And Will fire it from 3. And Will knocks it down. His second 3. He's got 8 points, and the lead is 15. And you got to wonder if Coach Carrillo's got to burn a timeout sometime soon. And Kuak answers with his own 3. He's got 26. A 12-point game. Coyotes with a double-digit lead, but Glendale hanging around. And what a great sequence right there. Will Coates, who's just still trying to find his stamina after coming back from a lower body injury, hits a big 3, and Jordan Kuak, who is basically keeping Glendale in this one, answers with a 3 on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, it's just impressive playing from both individuals. One thing I see is just Glendale, right? One guy carrying the team, one person really putting points on the board for the team. The Coyotes kind of getting the ball worked around a lot more. Carter Core with a couple of great possessions there, and then Will Coates putting a little icing on the cake with that 3, and that's great for Will as well. I mean, when you injure yourself, all you want to do is get back out, especially for a semifinals match or potentially even a finals match if they win tonight. So it's so great to see him hustling and finding his rhythm,
And no question. And for Will, this game paramount because he's getting in better shape
Yeah,
for that track meet that the Coyotes will have to expect on Friday,
yeah.
taking on Pima. 31-0. Knocking off South Mountain tonight.
And Joe, that will be another interesting factor. Last time we saw Pima play here, they didn't have Will Coates. And that'll be another thing to watch for is how does that impact the game when they go to Pima potentially if they win tonight?
Of course, we are getting ahead of ourselves. Still an eternity here.
Absolutely.
That's if Chandler-Gilbert can get past this dangerous Glendale team. Javen Price. Davis Hester on him. Kicks it out. Lockie. Will Coates left alone, and Will off the side of the iron. Chandler-Gilbert getting back defensively. Gibbs worked in the corner. Davis Hester lets it fly. Hester off the mark. Will, another rebound. Will very active off the glass as Hinder about to check back in. Javen and Glendale defending the perimeter, and Carter going up strong and will have the opportunity at the line. And just great recognition as they're going to call the foul on Kuak. That's his third. The Coyotes really identifying what Glendale is doing, bringing the pressure on the perimeter, and immediately dumping down to Carter, who's in a one-on-one situation. And Carter, who's had tons of mismatches, going up strong with a shot now at the line. And hits the first.
And Joe, at this point, with the game fairly close on the line, 5 minutes left, anything could happen. Jordan Kuak, their primary scorer, in foul trouble. I'd be attacking them if I was attacking Jordan Kuak if I was the Coyotes. Get him fouled out, and you've opened this game up a whole lot more.
Carter now with 14. He's played terrific. The Coyotes collectively have played terrific.
Yeah.
Leading by 13. Gibbs works it to Kuak. Kuak pulls back, and that rolls off the front of the iron. Coach Silsby was pleading them to get the basketball down to Carter Caraba, who was open. Connor swings it. 14 on the shot clock. Kenny White coming out. Lockie on the catch and shoot, and connects. Lockie McCain
Automatic.
does it again. 4 threes. His first basket in the second half. Kuak on the other end. Floater won't go, and it's going the other way. Coyotes up 16. Doing a tremendous job defensively. Once again, this Glendale team, Matt, putting up 82 a game, and they're going to fall way short of that one here tonight. Cohen and the Coyotes break the press. Hinder, man-sized move against Lamont Johnson. That's Johnson's for Denali, showing the physicality.
And Joe, that's something we wouldn't have seen a few weeks or even a month or two ago. Ollie putting his shoulder down, pound the player, and going up strong. I mean, that's just tremendous for Ollie. Really find his stride here and take it to the rim hard.
And we've been pleading for Ollie to be more physical, to go in strong, and realize he's got the height advantage.
Yeah.
And he won't be denied going up against a smaller player. Kuak almost traveled. Hester long range. Pulled out. And the Coyotes will slow it down. Leading by 18. They have just absolutely owned this one. From the opening tip. Hinder. Lockie. Little elbow. That's off the side. Tough physical play by Connor underneath. And that is what we've seen collectively from the Coyotes. Right place, right time. They're up 20. Kenny White. Lamont. Back to Gibbs, who's going to let it fly. Gibbs in and out. Javen Price and the Coyotes. And Coach Silsby's asking for his team to slow it down. They're up by 20. Cohen in the lane. That's going to be knocked out of bounds by Hester. It'll give them 11 seconds as Thomas checks in and Connor will check out. And you can easily say, Matt, that this is the Coyotes' best game of the year, the way they've played in every facet. And they need to be peaking at the right time for if they can hold on for what lies ahead of them with a showdown against the number one team in the country on the road for a right to extend their season. Pima, regardless, they're going to get an at-large bid.
Yeah.
They're 31-0. They're inked to the postseason. The Coyotes have got to win that game to extend their season.
Absolutely. This is right time, right place. They've put in all the work and the effort, and they've hustled and grind through all the pain and suffering that the season has been, but it's worked out in their favor. And this game, as Cohen Aldridge gets that one in as well, this game feels a lot like the game they played a few weeks back against Glendale. Just consistent, right on pace, and really a coming out party of their dominance.
That's knocked out of bounds. And the Coyotes, 2 minutes and 25 seconds from a statement win, one of their best of the season. Just a tremendous effort as this team has finally got all of its moving parts, which is something they've lacked in the course of the season. They dump it down low. Ali with the cliffs. Ali Hinder now with 11 points. Johnson, strong, and that won't go. Cohen. And the Coyotes, under 2 minutes left. And Davis Hester and the Coyotes. And they're going to call the foul on Lamont Johnson. That's his fifth. And Salee is back in. Getting an opportunity is Kobe Mont. And Cohen. What a strong night for Cohen. 9 points. Handled the basketball like a champ. Big rebounds. He has filled the box score and then some. Collectively, that has been the MO of this team this evening. And a mishap by the referees as Ollie should have had 2 shots. Coyotes up 24 points. I mean, it's almost unimaginable that Glendale would be getting blown out of this one. When they met here early in the season, Glendale, of course, the Coyotes didn't have all their parts, and that's off the mark, and the Coyotes were obliterated on home turf.
Absolutely, yeah.
And now it's the Coyotes returning the favor. You name it. They've done it with physicality, they've done it with IQ, they've done it with shooting, they've done it with defense, and Ali with the finish! And that's the exclamation point on the night.
Oh, my
Hinder.
goodness.
High and hard. Ali now with 13 as the lead is 26. And Hinder will foul out, but he has left his mark in this one.
No doubt. I mean, what a way to send
Ali
it.
with 13. Physical down in the post. And a integral piece of this team moving forward. Kuak at the line. 26. Make that 27. But the big thing for Jordan Kuak, not enough from his teammates tonight.
Mm-hmm.
He's had to carry the load. Davis Hester with only 3 points, averaging 16 a game. Kuak nails 2 of 2. Harold Merrick in the game, as well as Thomas. Swings it over to Teagan. And the Coyotes with their second unit in, getting some PT, and that's a good thing to see. These young men work hard. They deserve their minutes on the floor. 3 seconds. Muldowney off the glass. Kept alive. And Nolan does a good job. And it's almost fitting that the Coyotes pick up the loose ball and get another 20 seconds to play with. 30.5 seconds left in this one. And Harold Merrick, Ty Gibbs, who's had a strong year. Merrick will shoot it up and is off the mark. 14.7 seconds left. And the Coyotes, who at one point, as Peavy knocked that one down, at one point it looked like the question was whether the Coyotes would earn the 2 seed, but they are the 2 seed, and they show what they're capable of, fully healthy, getting the 80-59 victory over Glendale. Just a complete team win. And Jabin Price with 18 points. Lockie McCain with 13, as well as Ollie Hinder and Carter Carab with 13 as well. So plenty of names filling up the box score, and a complete team effort by this Chandler-Gilbert team. And it almost shows how unified this team was through all the up and downs and players not being able to suit up because of injuries. And for Coach Silsby, we're going to talk to Jabin Price as well as Carter Carab and Jabin Price. And that was Russ Luce, who the AD of Chandler-Gilbert, who is helping us right now coordinate post-game interviews. And Matt, for me, this is the Chandler-Gilbert team we're so used to seeing, a team that can beat you from the outside, beat you defensively, beat you with physicality, beat you with IQ. And it's just so refreshing for Steve Silsby. It's a shame that we're seeing it so late in the season, where the odds are now, I'm not saying they're insurmountable, but it's going to be a huge task trying to beat Pima at their place, a team that is 31-0, a team that is not just playing for the region championship, they're playing for the national championship.
Yeah.
But for once, to see a Coyotes team, all the weapons, and showing what they're capable of and what this team could have looked like if more of the pieces would have been in place in the course of the season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Pima's a tough team. They're a hard team. They've got a lot of great pieces, and the home court makes it a disadvantage for the Coyotes. But this is a different team than they've seen all season. We have Will back on the court. We've got a roster that's healthier than it's ever been, and that's a great positive outlook. When they last played here on home court against Pima, they didn't have those pieces, and so that's a whole different ball game. Now, we all know greatness isn't born, it's built. Adversity is what makes a team strong, and I think Glendale tonight, obviously a great team. They've had their own challenges this season, but the Coyotes have battled hard all season, not only playing the tough teams on the road, out of state, looking for any opportunity to make it more difficult on themselves, but then just the natural injuries that occurred and them fighting through the adversity, I think, is what's made them a strong team and really has put them on the top here tonight, leading into the finale against Pima.
They're now 20-11 on the year, 13-6 in league. And as we alluded to, you just got to wonder if some of the bodies would have been in place, how many more wins they'd have, and maybe they're
Absolutely.
fighting for an at-large bid
Right.
nationally. But instead, they're going to have to play their way in and try to battle a Brian Peabody team led by Cohen J. Gonzalez and Max Marley and all the physicality they have. And they're going to have to come out strong, but having Will Coates back is another long, athletic body. And Will Coates, he put his imprint on this one. 8 points, physical, crashing the glass, playing great defense out on the perimeter as well.
Yeah, Will Coates really was not only adding to his points, showing that he was getting more and more comfortable being back, but using his length that they just haven't had in some of the other players to lock down Chase Pavey and some of the other shooters. I think that played a huge role in making sure Glendale really never got away with the game or took a lead from the outside. So Will's much needed. It's going to be so interesting leading into Pima. It would have been awesome to see them secure their spot in the regional championship regardless of whether they're going to win against Pima or not. But it makes it interesting. It makes it fun to watch. So we'll be all there for it, and we hope them the best of luck as they play Pima on Friday.
That is set for a 7 p.m. tip-off. And as we kind of talk about the matchups, we know how quick and athletic they are. I think for Chandler-Gilbert, make Pima beat them down low.
Absolutely.
That's the big thing. And they've got the ability to guard from the out, especially now you get Will back, another defender. So I don't want Cohen J. Gonzalez getting free looks all day from three. I want to see Pima. If you're gonna beat me, you're not gonna like run me off the court. You're gonna beat me with bully ball and outwork me down in the post and out rebound me in the course of a contest. And that's gonna be a point of emphasis in this one. Now, coming up, we are going to get Jabin Price. We are going to get Carter Carab. And for me, Carter Carab in this one was just a strong force in the second half and that credits the Coyotes collectively of seeing what Glendale was trying to do, stop everything out on the perimeter, and that left Carter open, and Carter took control in the second half with 8 second-half points and just a strong presence down in the paint.
Yeah, I mean, composure is so key as a big man, knowing that you are the dominant force down low and taking that role on head first. And I think Carter really has stepped into that role. I love what I saw from Ollie tonight as well, really stepping into that big man role, dominating the paint, making huge blocks, and eventually fouling out, just playing his hardest all the way through, and that massive dunk was awesome as well. But that's what they're going to need against Pima, right? Make sure that Pima plays the down low. It's forced down there. They've got some big guys who can work the paint as well. But I think if Carter and Ollie can play at their level, stay composed, and really bring the big man energy to the court, I think they stand a great chance.
And the big thing, too, is that the Coyotes, they didn't have a fully healthy Lockie McCain against Pima. And that's going to be another weapon in their arsenal. The big thing is really force Pima to be in the half court and make them earn everything down in the blocks. As we kind of look at the three matchups, the last time they faced at Pima, it was 95-55, and Lockie did play sparingly in that one, only 21 minutes, recovering from that lower body injury, but now he's a different player. He's getting the minutes, he's comfortable, and and that game was back in the first half of the season, and that was the second of the 3 games. The first one was a home loss here in which Coyotes didn't have a lot of bodies, and then they faced later in the season 73-49 here at Chandler-Gilbert, and you look at them, and of course West Ball is such a good player. Gabe Oldham is their strong physical force. West Ball is stretch forward who can deliver, and then we kind of talk about their bench and how deep they are with, of course, Mason Hunt, who's a dynamic freshman, Brig Wolf as well, Isaac Johnson, who doesn't get any playing time, and he's probably the most athletic player on that team. And Isaac Johnson, mark my word, ladies and gentlemen, that's a kid you're going to be hearing about next year because he's explosive. And in that game for the Coyotes, as Jabin Price was 1 for 8, and it was Cohen and Connor and Carter and Ollie, and there was no Will Coates, Lockie played 26 sparing minutes. They only shot 34%, 20% from three, but I love the ball movement by the Coyotes tonight. They're going to need that tonight, and I love the defense. And the big thing for me, for them, is really frustrate their shooters. Mako and Javen Price, that's going to be a matchup we have to see the entire time.
Absolutely.
Javen Price, that's his mission on the night. Keep Cohen J. Gonzalez in the lower double digits, and the Coyotes will have a chance. Make someone else beat him. I have no problem if Gabe Oldham goes off for 20 and he has to turn everything down in the blocks. That means he's been tough, he's physical, but that means that everything on the perimeter hasn't been there, and they had to dump it inside. And if he gets his 20 and 10, so be it. That means the Coyotes have done everything on the perimeter to give themselves a shot to win that game and control the perimeter and keep Pima from just taking control from the long ball, and especially on their home court where they're going to look at that first 5 minutes to come out with so much energy and effort and just try to knock the Coyotes out with the knockout punch in the first 5 minutes of that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is a team that is drastically different, and I think you're absolutely right, Joe. The Coyotes got to do everything they can to lock down Cohen J, lock down those inside shots that West Ball and Mason Hunt were so good at hitting in that last matchup. And if they can force the inside to really do the prime majority of the work, I think they've got a great chance. We've got some great large bodies to put against it. And, I mean, that's really the strategy they have to have in order to compete and potentially pull a win against Pima.
And Mason Hunt, for me, is kind of like that X factor on the team because he comes off the bench. He's got a really nice stroke.
Yeah.
He's got some fadeaway moves, and he can shoot from different angles. And when you got a guy like that who's not afraid and believes in his game, that he can spot up from different angles, and it allows spacing to be so much better on the floor for a team because he gets, let's say, doubled. He's smart enough to kick it out, and then they find shooters. So collectively for the Coyotes, they're going to have to defend, and it has to be 150% full throttle and then some.
Mm-hmm.
There cannot be any hesitation. Every possession has got to be valued, and they got to go in what the stakes are, as if, and it is, their life is depending on it for the postseason.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really their last shot to secure a spot playing the regional. And the truth is the Coyotes are so deserving of playing in that next level. They've worked hard. They've battled it out. They've done everything they can to put themselves at the top in this conference, and they're very deserving of it. So we hope to see them in that conference. We hope to see them be successful against Pima, and I think they've got all the right pieces. It's just about execution at this point.
So Javen Price is going to join us, and Javen's going to work his way over. He's in a little bit of a conversation, and as Matt works the camera to get things adjusted, Javen with a team high 18 points. And he's just right to our left. The former Mountain Point Pride player. And here he is, Javen Price, working his way with 18 points to lead Chandler-Gilbert to the 80-54 win over Glendale. And first off, Javen, congratulations on the win.
Thank you, thank you.
Your thoughts on this win, and for me personally, how did it feel just to have all your guns and be able to utilize an entire team in this performance?
It feels great to be back at our full potential and have everybody just clicking with each other. The energy was great. That was like probably our best game, energy-wise, 100%.
No
Felt
question.
great.
For me, I thought it was your best game collectively as a team. And, of course, you look at the numbers, and you had several double-digit scores yourself, Lockie, as well as Carter, Ali Hinder, and of course, another inspirational person who's back for the stretch run is Will Coates. And
Will.
having Will back for the stretch run, what did that allow you to do, having Will, his size, and what did that do for spacing and defensively to lock up Glendale?
Definitely helped us cover more space defensively. And we had one of our main reads back offensively, so that helped a lot. Had a guy who gets us about 11, 12 points a game, so that was good to have him, another person to worry about. And that's why you've seen multiple double-digit points from people tonight.
You know, Jabin, when we talked about this in a pregame, when you faced Glendale early in the season here, and we've never seen – that was the first time I've seen the Coyotes get blown out at home.
Right.
But in fairness, you didn't have all the weapons. You didn't have all the personnel. And I think the mindset – can you talk a little bit about this mindset of this team? Now you're riding a 5-game winning streak, and it just seems like everyone is taking it up a notch because it just wasn't one thing tonight where everyone was contributing. It was the IQ, for example, of any time Glendale, and they were trying to deny the three late in the game, and you guys said, okay, you want to do that? Carter, take control. You
right
dump
to the
it
back.
down. But just the IQ, the defense, the ball movement, defensively, the hustle, everyone contributing. How much different is this team now than when you faced Glendale back in December?
Ooh, a lot more different. I feel like we're hungrier and we're way more experienced. That game, first time playing them, you don't really know what they're gonna do. We don't know what they're gonna do. They don't know what we're gonna do. And they hit a lot of shots that game. They hit a lot of shots. So once we ran all their players off the 3-point line, there wasn't much they could do. And we're bigger than them, more physical than them in the paint, and we just took advantage of that. I feel like we took advantage of everything we had, every advantage we had.
And you definitely took advantage of that. So now you get a little time to rest, but you're back at work, and the work has got to be monumental in a big way.
Yeah.
You get a fourth shot against Pima, and you go there. They're 31-0. They knocked off South Mountain tonight by the count of 80-55 in the other region semifinals. And your thoughts of taking them on for the first time this season with the roster pretty much in check?
Yeah. Like I said, a lot more reads and a lot more experience should help us a lot. And we just got to rebound. That's really like the main thing we got to do against them. No second chance points, and we'll be all right. We'll be good.
And you kind of talk about that. And, one of the keys for me, and we've seen Pima enough. We know how gifted they are. They got, of course, it starts with Cohen J. Gonzalez and Max Marley and Mason Hunt and all their players they've got. But is it one of those things where the emphasis is guard the perimeter, and if Gabe Oldham beats you down low, then Gabe Oldham beats you down low?
100%. Make the players that don't ever get out of their, comfort zone, get out of their comfort zone. That's 100%. Because those type of guys, the Marleys, the Cohen Jays, and Wolf, those type of guys, those type of dudes, you let them get comfortable, let them shoot. That's where you get beat. So make the players who don't, get a lot of shots, let them take a lot of shots. Let them beat us. Don't let the main guys.
So I've talked about this with Matt.
Right.
I said, for me personally, if I'm Coach Silsby, I said, Jabin Price, every time Cohen J. Gonzalez is on the floor, that's his assignment because Jabin Price, speed-wise, is the one player. And when I've seen you against him on one-on-one, you've locked him up.
Yeah.
And I think, is it safe to say that is going to be a point of emphasis?
Yeah, of course.
You on him all night long.
Of course. In his hip all game. Can't let him get comfortable. Too important game to let him, get his average or above his average, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's definitely the point of emphasis. It's all through him.
How important is the first 5-10 minutes in that one?
Very important. We got to punch him in the mouth or let him know we're here, Definitely let them know we're here. And if we can't get up on them early and let them know that we're not going a fourth time. We're not going.
And I gotta ask you this, for all you guys that came in as freshmen, the Aldridge brothers, yourself, Ollie, Carter, look, you guys aren't freshmen anymore.
Yeah.
It's time to put the big boy pants on and get it done on the road.
100%.
And your thoughts of going there and just not just going, but going there knowing with that attitude that you guys can get it done.
We can. Yep. For sure. We definitely can. And I think we have a lot more like confidence. A lot more confidence. This last push at the end of our season has gave us a lot more confidence, and I think we're rolling.
There you go.
We're rolling. They better be rolling. Or
There you go. Jabin Price, 18 points. Coyotes blow out Glendale to move on to the region finals, and that's Friday at Pima. Coyotes going with a purpose, with a man-sized attitude to look to take down the number 1 team in the country. Keep it locked. Matt McCurdy is going to join me, and Matt's got Carter Carab, and we're going to do the perfect switch because we do it fluidly. You know, Jabin Price, great guard, and I can handle the perfect dish right here.
yeah.
There we go. And I will wiggle out.
Yes, sir. You too.
So Carter,
What's up? How's it
welcome
going?
to the broadcast.
Thank you.
And what a tremendous game. I mean, honestly, even better than the last time we played Glendale, which was just barely a week or a half ago. And so how was, it's never easy playing a team 4 times
For sure, yeah.
in a season. It's a lot of knowledge on your opponent. What was the gameplay coming in tonight? Obviously coming off a great 4-win streak and now adding a 5th to the streak.
Yeah, I think it really came down to, I think our defense was a huge part of it tonight.
Yeah.
Like Coach Silsby was telling us, we've played each other 4 times. We both know everything about each other, right? So it's all about who can execute better and who can really get after it on the defensive side of the ball. And I thought we did that tonight as a team, so that really helped us with this win.
Absolutely. No, you guys were all over it. And really, Joe and I saw it right at the beginning, just bringing the energy, bringing the passion to the court. And you guys were hungry for the steal, hungry for the open look. And I think that really sets you guys apart in a game where really you guys know each other so well. You've battled it out 4 times in this season. Your game over the season has just gone better and better and better and more dominant. I think finding your timing, finding your step, and then tonight, the touch of the rim was just so on point. So what's been the journey for you starting at the beginning of the season, kind of having to step into the big man role right away, not having anybody to look to guide you, but just having to go straight in due to injuries from other teammates? What's that journey been like for you?
Yeah, it's been a crazy journey for sure, but
Yeah.
I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for my teammates. They've really been able to help me kind of fill that role and figure out what to do. Because, I'd say I'm a little bit undersized when I'm, battling some of those really dominant bid guys. So Parker's helped a lot. Ollie has helped a ton and just helping me trying to learn little wrinkles in the offense and, making those adjustments that I need to play down low and to do that. And I like to use my speed, my little bit of that mid-range that I have to try and, find opportunities. So
Absolutely. And that mid-range is there. I mean, just a little spin move, turn to the back, flick it in is just so on point. And you did a great job even finding the mismatches, putting your body into the game and finding the open spot. So now, obviously, Pima, next team to play, they're a pretty big dog in the competition, ranked number 1 in the nation. But you guys know their game as well. And Joe and I, as we talked, this is probably the healthiest the team has ever been and the freshest bench you guys have ever had. So what's the thought process? Where's the team at, and what are your thoughts leading into this Pima game on Friday?
I mean, obviously we're just super amped up to play them. We're excited. I mean, I wasn't here last year, but I know we, dropped a really tough one in the championship last year. So I know Coach Silsby really wants to get them, and everyone who's here just is really, really excited for this game. And I think, like you said, we have a really healthy team right now with Will being back. That's going to be big for us, and I think it's going to be a good one. We're definitely going to be ready to play, and Pima's a great team, so we're going to have to execute well, and we're going to have to do all that we can. But I think we're going to it's going to be a good game for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to watching it. Now, I know every game, you're just looking to the next game, right? You don't want to look too far in advance, but knowing that obviously you have this game against Pima, but then the regional championship is potentially an option as well. How excited are you to potentially get to that level and that point? And where's the team at? What's the excitement level for that?
Yeah, I think we're definitely excited. I think this was our 20th win tonight, which is really big. I know Silsby was saying that in the last couple of years we've had the back-to-back 20 win or plus seasons, which is really good. I think that shows success, and obviously if we can make the regional tournament, like that's an even better part of the season to just show how successful we've been. And it's just all of us working together and buying into a system. I think that's really what it's going to take for us to get there.
Absolutely. Well, you guys definitely seem like you've bought into the system. You guys are playing so in sync. The past few games have just been super fun to watch, and we're excited to see you play and progress as a player on this team, but also we're excited to watch the team hopefully succeed in the bout against Pima, and then hopefully on and on from there. So Carter Korb, everybody, thanks for joining us on the chat.
Appreciate it.
And we'll have to see you in the next games.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Great job.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So, man, we talked to two players tonight that really brought the A game, and Coyotes collectively, they brought it. I just so impressed with Carter in that second half. He just owned it down in the blocks.
Absolutely.
And the mismatch by the Coyotes able to recognize those and push it down. But it was collectively, it was a great team effort. We just saw so many heroes with great moments on the floor. 4 players in double figures. Javen leading the way with 14 first half points. Carter controlling the second half. Lockie with 4 threes. Ali Hinder with big plays, 13 points, a big slam at the end. And just locking down a Glendale team that was putting up 82 points, holding them just to 54. And now they got some weapons and they got some confidence. They're running a 5-game winning streak going into Pima. And look, all they can ask is to be healthy at this point. They are, and they're going with confidence. And for me, as we talk about the matchup, it starts with Jamin Price on Cohen J. Gonzalez. And I told him, I said, you can lock him down.
Yeah.
You've got the speed. And I think that matchup is paramount. And I'm all about the Coyotes making Gabe Oldham be the hero. Let Gabe Oldham go out for 25 and 15. That means they've controlled the perimeter and they've controlled a really good shooting team from not going off from the perimeter and deep in the paint.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the Coyotes really need to use their IQ in this game, outsmart Pima, and like you said, force Gabe Oldman, the big man, to put up the numbers, make it an individual night for him, and lock down the other players. And I think they have everything they can possibly have to do that. And right now, there's never been a better moment for the Coyotes to play Pima. They've got healthy bodies. They've got as fresh of a roster as they've ever had this season, and they're playing the best they've ever played. So I think all the pieces are there. Now it just comes down to locking in, being present in the moment, and playing their best basketball.
Sheer will and determination. And right now, March is all about madness, magical moments, mayhem, and the Coyotes are going to have their opportunity taking on the number 1 team in the country that is 31-0, and Brian Peabody and his team, they're not just thinking about winning the region finals, they're thinking about winning the national championship. And as we close this out, and we wish the Coyotes best of luck, of course, the Pima crew will handle that broadcast. For Steve Silsby and his team, think about all they've been through, and for Coach Silsby and his coaching staff, Zach Harrison, Leon Sutton, Mike Fowler, the tremendous job they've done this year with all the injuries to earn the 2 seed and to be in the region finals for a 3rd straight year. And basically with freshmen leading the way, got to remember this team lost Parker Larson before essentially a game in with a lower body injury. They lost Ty Cochran again. Poor young man has yet to step on the floor for this team and show what he's capable of doing. And then, of course, Lockie McCain with the foot injury. Will was lost. Slew of injuries throughout the year for this team. And for Coach Silsby and his staff to keep it all together speaks volumes of the heart, determination, and the coaching and the will to get them in this position.
Yeah, no doubt. I think there's no question that CGCC has some of the greatest coaching staff in the conference and maybe even in the nation. They hold it together. They keep the boat afloat, and they've worked with very little this season. Not in the sense of talent, but just lots of hindrance, a lot of injuries, and so they're making a lot out of the little that they had, and really they've made the most out of it. And they've gone this far, and we just hope that they can take it even further because they deserve it. They've worked so hard, and Pima's got a lot of great pieces. We've seen how well they've played, and look, they're a deserving team. They've built a great culture, a great program, and obviously we root for the home team, but we hope both teams play their best ball, and that's how sports work. But we hope the Coyotes can become victorious.
Absolutely. For the Coyotes, they got to win it to punch their ticket to the postseason. Pima, 31-0, number 1 ranked in the country. They're in regardless. So we appreciate you dialing us up on the Chandler-Gilbert Sports Network for basketball all season long. It's always been our pleasure to cover Coach Silsby and his team, and we appreciate Russ Luce, the great AD, and all the great staff here, administration, that allow us to showcase all these great athletes on campus. As always, Matt McCurdy doing a tremendous job co-guiding the ship for the Coyotes this year. I'm Joe Pequeno, and we appreciate all of you, all your parents, and to Lockie McCain and his folks down under. We like to always say hi to them, and we appreciate you dialing us up from the other side of the world, and all the fans out there. Thank you for your support. And once again, Coyotes moving on to the region finals. They'll take on Pima on Friday. Everyone take care. We'll see you very soon right here on the Chandler-Gilbert Sports Network.